Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and welcome back to another movie review. I'm doing this movie and a couple of the other movies because one, someone asked me to review this. Two, I had time. Three, because a guy named Tony had sent me Hannibal and Red Dragon. Although I already had Hannibal and Red Dragon, I got them really cheap at a pawn shop. I'm like, okay, I have Sounds of the Lambs. I'll get those two for the Anthony Hopkins Lecter trilogy. But but he asked me to review them. He had sent me stuff. Least I can do. And someone had wanted me to review this, so did two birds with one stone. Now, if you're wondering, well, what about Manhunter? What about Manhunter? I do have Manhunter, but I want to review that after I review Red Dragon, because they're pretty much the same movie, except I like Manhunter a lot more than Red Dragon, so I'd rather do those reviews back to back. And I'm not reviewing Hannibal Rising. I've seen the Hannibal Rising. I don't like it. To me, it's just a useless prequel. And of course, because it's a prequel, you're not going to have Anthony Hopkins. And it's a useless prequel. It was a prequel that wasn't needed, wasn't wanted, wasn't interesting, and I don't care to watch it again. I don't care to waste my time, waste my money renting it, or waste my time finding it to watch online. I don't care about the movie. I don't like it. Life's too short. And no, I did not. I have not seen the Hannibal TV series. I have no interest. I just don't have time to watch a TV show. I have so much other stuff I can watch, and I'll just rather concentrate on the movies. But The Silence of the Lambs, 1991 film, won a lot of Oscars: Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Actress, Director. It pretty much swept the Oscars. It's a film that more called a thriller than a horror film, although it does have stuff like a guy who skins people and another guy who's a cannibal. But it's not a horror film, it's a thriller. But it's directed by Jonathan Demme, and I like the film. I like the film. It's not a film that I rewatch all the time. No reason, just because. But I like it. I still enjoy Manhunter more, but I would put this at number 2. And of the stuff that Anthony Hopkins was in, I'd definitely be number 1. But I liked it. Howard Shore did a good job on the music. Jonathan Demme did a good job on the directing. Jodie Foster is great as Clarice Starling, rookie FBI agent, wants to be in behavioral sciences. Pretty much Scott Glenn, who also does a good job. He's a higher up. He's like, hey, I know you really want to be a part of this. How about some training? We're supposed to be talking to these guys, serial killers, answer this questionnaire. How about you talk to them? She goes there. And I thought, before I did that, I thought the cast did a good job. Not only Anthony Hopkins and Jodie Foster, Scott Glenn. There's a woman named Tracy Walter. She did a good job. I've seen her in other films. Anthony Heald as sort of the asshole boss of the facility that they're holding Hannibal Lecter. I thought he did good. Frankie Faison, who is in a couple of the movies. Pretty much all the movies except Hannibal Rising. I think he's in Manhunter. I gotta watch that again. I could be wrong. I think he is actually in Manhunter. But I know he's in this one, he's in Red Dragon, he's in Hannibal. But Manhunter, I'm gonna wait until I watch that again. But I think that's the case. Anyway, I think what makes the film work is the guy they're trying to find, Buffalo Bill. You got Ted Levine, who is great. Goodbye, horses. Which Kevin Smith later used for Clerks 2. And if you've seen that film, you know what scene I'm talking about. But I thought the performances really worked well. I thought this was a pretty decently paced film, which I thought this film was okay, and I'll talk about that in you'll probably see it today when I upload this. But I like the film okay, but a problem with this, I don't think it was that tightly paced. This I thought was pretty decently tightly paced. There's not too many moments I thought, why is this in there? I mean, when she gets there and the character talks about, be careful of this guy, showing her pictures, but you don't see what's the pictures themselves. We just hear the explanation that he was very calm, even when he ate her ton. The conversation between her and Lecter, very interesting. It's two actors who do a really good job between each other. Her wanting information and him peeling into her life. And the reason the title comes into play is later on she talks about how she had a father who was a cop, pretty much a sheriff, who died. And then she was sent to live with these ranchers. And she heard the screaming of these lambs and they were being slaughtered. And she hated that. She tried to take one, but she couldn't make it. She couldn't save it. And, the screaming of lambs. And he's like, so what? You think you'll save this girl and the screaming will stop? And she's like, I don't know. Hence, the silence of the lambs. Because if you don't watch the film, you're like, that's a weird title. The Silence of the Lambs? What the fuck is that movie? Lamb Chop is in this? She got silent, she got a dick in her mouth, and Lamb Chop was silent because of that. That'd be a different movie. But pretty much, I mean, what more can you say about this? It won Oscars for almost fucking everything. Memorable lines of dialogue. Census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. I mean, what more can you say? I mean, you have other people like George Romero makes an appearance when it's later on in the film where a senator's daughter has been taken, and he's like, okay, I'll talk. Bring me to this one place. And then they take him from one place to the other. And actually, Charles Napier from Rambo 2, among others, he's there as one of the guards. And there's a moment where, after she told that story, actually, about the lambs, they find her and take her away. And he's like, hey, your file. You see a guy with a beard in the background? Take her out. That's George Romero. Because I think this was filmed in Pittsburgh. So Jonathan Demme's like, hey, George Romero make a cameo in this. So George Romero makes a cameo, which is interesting. Of course, Buffalo Bill, that Ted Levine character, it rubs the lotion in his skin, or else he gets the hose again. A guy who's skinning people for clothes, and just Ted Levine, his character is just really. I thought Ted Levine did a great job with the role. The whole thing between the two main actors, quid pro quo. I can't even say the word right. Quid pro quo, Clarice. That's why I'm not an actor. I can barely talk. But I thought it also had some nice edits with the directing as well. Like, for example, in the end of the film where you think that, oh, they're going to get this character. They're going to get Ted Levine's character. It cuts to Ted Levine answering the door to start letting them go in with the SWAT team. But then when the door opens, it's actually Jodie Foster. And you find that the SWAT team are at the wrong place. So there's certain edits like that I thought they did a really good job with. Same with when Anthony Hopkins fucks up the guards. Bites one guy right on the nose. They think the cop's breathing, but it's Anthony Hopkins who put the cop's skin on his face. It may look like the cop was him escaping, and oh shit, no, that's one of ours. And shows his intelligence, Anthony Hopkins' intelligence. And also that he's a guy you don't want to fuck with. Even the nice bits of dialogue, the last scene where he sees Anthony Hopkins' character has escaped, and he sees the asshole who kept him in, Anthony Held's character. He's like, I'm having an old friend for dinner. So you could tell what's going to happen to that guy. The ending was really well done. The whole one-on-one between her and Buffalo Bill, Ted Levine's character, where the lights are off and you see in the green, not infrared, but night vision. And she hears the click of the gun, God, I'm fucking drunk. And I don't even drink. That's what's sad. Clifford the gun turns around and boom, is able to shoot the motherfucker. But I thought Anthony Hopkins did do a good job with this. I can understand why he got the Oscar for this. Jodie Foster, I thought, did a good job as well. I thought they worked well together. It's nice to see Ted Levine. Definitely an interesting villain. I thought it kept going at a good pace. I didn't get bored. I thought it was well directed. Some interesting edits. Or some stuff they did with the editing. Or I'm not even sure if the editing is the right way to put it. But some decent makeup. I mean, when the cops come in, you see, I believe it's Charles Napier's character hung on the bars like a hellacious angel type of being. That was always the image that I remember ever since I first saw it. And yeah, it's not a film that I watch all the time, just because I think just everyone talks about The Silence of the Lambs, and it's one of those things I didn't really want to review it, because what more can you say that hasn't been said before? I mean, hell, it didn't won all those Oscars. Considered one of the great movies out there. Again, acting, directing, picture-wise, it won all the awards, or at least all the Oscars. Howard Shore, again, did a job on the score. I mean, it's like, what more can be said about it? I mean, Clarice Starling, Hannibal Lecter, good acting, good direction, good score, good villain, or you say villains, good payoff, good movie. And it's one of those things that when everyone's talked about a movie, what the hell else can you contribute to the conversation? That Good Boy Horses thing where he tucks his dick in and makes it look like he's a woman. That was always wow, that's weird. And I guess that's a weird way to end the review. Why not? And I'm not going to do that for people, although I'm sure some people will be excited to see me do that. But, Goodbye Horses. I wouldn't be able to do that because if I pull it out, it would block the whole screen. But that's why I'm called White Chocolate. Or maybe white, but now that's even a weirder way to end the review. But come on, I gotta be crazy just because. What more do you see about The Silence of the Lambs? Believe me, it wouldn't be silenced if I was around. See, another weird way I could end it. See, there's a lot of weird ways I could end it on some of these tangents, but in all seriousness, I'll end it with. I'm sure some people will say maybe this film is a bit overrated, but I don't really find any problems with the film. I never read the novel by Thomas Harris. Again, I enjoy Manhunter more because I just like the mood with that Michael Mann brought to it. That film really works for me. But I can't really think of anything that's bad. I mean, yeah, I like Scott Glenn. Liked his character. I can't really think of anything to go, oh, I didn't really like that part. I didn't really like this part. It's not an action film. It's an R-rated film, but I wouldn't call this a gore film. So, I think it's a bit of a horror film just because of some of the ideas, but the thriller aspect, I can understand that as well. I mean, I do understand going in each direction, to be honest. But either way, I'm just rambling. This is Silence of the Lambs. What more can I say? I like the film. I think it's a good film. I definitely think it's the best of the Hannibal Lecter films that Anthony Hopkins was involved with, because I just think it had a tighter pace, and I think Hannibal was a bit bloated, although I like the film okay. And I thought Red Dragon, I'm sorry, I have to compare it to Manhunter, because it's the same fucking thing, because Manhunter was Red Dragon, but they didn't call it Red Dragon because of X, Y, and Z reasons, and I'll talk about that more when I talk about Manhunter, and anyway, I'll end it here. But that's my random review on The Silence of the Lambs. Thanks for watching, take care, and stay tuned for a review of Hannibal later.